All right, let's talk about suspicious links. So, as we previously talked about, in order for a phishing attack to work successfully, you have to go from your email to a website. And these phishing emails and these scams will almost always tell you to click on a link that will take you from your email to a different website. And these suspicious links, or these links, may look legit, or they might have a suspicious feel to them. And I want to talk about how to detect a suspicious link. So, look at the following two words I have on the slide here. They both say follow, or so you think, but the first one is spelled Follow, and the second one is spelled Fo uppercase Iou. So it's actually two different words, although they look the same. And that's a lot of times how suspicious links work. They will put in other letters in the URL to make it look legit, but you're taken to a different site, and you're taken more often than not to the scammer's website. So sometimes they're obvious, and you'll notice them right away, but in the example before, with the two words that look like follow, you could easily miss them. So, for example, we have Udemy, which I'm using a special character instead of the U. It looks obvious if you stare at it, but if you're browsing through your email quick, you might miss it. Facebook, all capital letters, but the O's in book are actually zeros. So this would take you to a completely different website, not facebook.com. And finally, you might see something called a URL shortener. There's lots out there. Bitly, Google has their own. I'm using one right now, goo.gl. That's Google's URL shortener. So this link, if you were to click on this link, it would just take you to the Udemy website. But you would not know that just from hovering over it. You would know that it's taking you to some link. You see Google somewhat written there with except for the E. You might think it's a legit link, but in fact, a scammer could make any URL a shortener. Could shorten any URL and send you to any website they want you to go to. So look out for those. So, you have all these links in an email. How do you know where it's taking me? Well, first, if the sender looks suspicious, don't click on any links. If the link itself looks suspicious, definitely don't click on it. Any link could be faked with HTML. And we'll see that sometimes on a website. It'll say submit. Right, you'll have a button on the website that says submit, and it will take you to a different website. You don't know where you're going when you click on links. So if you hover over the link and you look at the bottom of your browser, and it's usually the bottom left-hand side of your browser, it will tell you what the real link is. And oftentimes it's really long, sometimes it's really short, but that will tell you what the link is and where you're going to. Again, if it's a really, really long link, it could be hard to detect, and you could miss one or two characters that are spelt differently. So the best method is to take the link that they send, highlight it, copy it, paste it into a text editor such as Notepad, and then examine it from there. That's if you're really suspicious of the link. If the link is doing something tricky, like it has HTML code to send you to another website, for example, it might say www.udemy.com, but the HTML behind that link is sending you to another website. Well, if you were to just copy the udemy.com and paste that into Notepad, you wouldn't be getting the HTML code. So you would just simply be going to udemy.com, and you wouldn't fall for that fake link. So again, suspicious links, they're tricky, and they can get really, really tricky. But the best way is copy and paste it and examine it. Or if the email is suspicious or the sender's suspicious, just simply don't click on the link at all. So you might be thinking, okay, well, what if it looks really, really legit? I've done that. I've copied, I pasted it. It looks legit. Well, sometimes an account can be compromised at your workplace. And I've seen this before where you'll have internal email get sent out that's a phishing attack. And again, they just want you to go to a link. That's how the attacks are successful. So follow the rules on how to detect a phishing email. If it doesn't say your name, dear colleague or dear sir, madam, those are all suspicious words that you can see in an email, and you wouldn't want to click on any links in that email anyways. But also remember, this is very important, and I'm going to cover this later in the password section, but your work or the IT department or your bank and so on and so forth, they're never going to ask you for your password. They'll never ask you for an account number or anything like that. They already have this information on file, and they have it secured. Your password, no one will ever know that. Your work, the IT department, they don't know your password. That's stored in a way that they can't even read it. So they're never going to ask you for your current password. So never give that away.